Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, day 3 of these daily meditations. And we're going to dive in. We're going to see what we will look at today together. We'll uncover and explore it together. So go ahead and let yourself land in your chair. Feel the chair underneath your bottom and feel your body landing fully here in this moment. Taking this pause just for you so that you can hear your own voice. Plant your feet on the floor. Yeah, and today let's imagine you can open up the bottoms of your feet and really anchor into this earth, this moment, this spot where you happen to be sitting. So you can just imagine that your feet have little sliding doors, and they can just realize that you've planted them and you want them to do their thing. And you can slide those little doors open. And then the bottoms of your feet can grow roots, and they can go down into the earth underneath where you have your feet planted. So this is sometimes tricky, right? For some people, actually it's hysterical to see it around the world, how it looks in different places. So I'll just speak for where I am right now. So here in Cincinnati, Ohio, there's lots of hills. And when I plant my feet on the ground, there's layers and layers of deep, hard, thick dirt. You know, the kind of dirt you have to really shovel for a while when you're going to make a hole for a tree or a bush. So I imagine that the roots, when I plant them, I'm on the basement level of my house, so it's ground level. So I can just plant the feet on the floor. There's only a short amount of surface of carpet and concrete, and so the roots just magically make their way through that. And then they hit the dirt, and they go into the dirt and then really start just rooting in like a big oak, huge tree, you know, that would really grow deep, deep roots. They just start to go down, and then they spread underneath the ground. So they spread sideways and then they spread down, just like a really big tree or bush would do. If it was going to anchor into the earth, it would increase the width of its anchoring so that it could hold the strength of the tree or the root or the bush as it got taller. So your roots for your feet are doing the same thing. So you can match the energy of the earth here in Cincinnati, so you can feel how it goes down and wide and down and wide. And you can drop that by increments of 5 feet or by increments of 50 feet. Or some of my clients, they drop it by increments of 1,000 feet. So you can feel, right, the depth, the capacity of what they can hold by how quickly they can imagine roots going into the earth and anchoring them in. Anchoring them here into this moment. I have clients in other locations, and the dirt is different, right? So they have a harder time perhaps anchoring because you have to go through layers of sand or lots of grass, or they're high up on the mountains, and so they're anchoring into rock instead of a lot of this dirt. So you can play with your location and then what you need to move through as you root in, right? So it's all visualization, it's all playing, you know, like when we were children and we would just imagine that we could fly, or we could be dump trucks, or, you know, whatever it was that we wanted to create, we would just do it. So just imagine in this moment that your feet have magical powers and they can just root into this earth. Yeah. Yeah, and then let the roots just really spread down and wide, down and wide, down and wide. Good. And why do we want to do this? Well, when our energy is up in our head and it's busy, right? And so we're thinking of all the things that we've got to do. We forget to send our energy down into the fullness of our body, down through the chakras. If you do a lot of energy work, you'll know about chakras. If not, keep listening to these meditations and you'll learn more. But there are these energy centers in our body. And when the energy stays up in the mind and it's super busy, we forget to send it down, all the way down through the other parts of our body. So rooting is really this landing in one place and then starting to allow the energy from your mind to be pulled down, to be tugged down into the earth. So as you plant your feet, you just want to feel the vibration of the earth underneath you. For some people, if you're in a high rise, if you're in a big city, for example, New York, so I have clients that have these apartments that are way up in the air, and then there are people underneath them in the apartments underneath. So it's sort of a weird visualization. Are you growing roots and they're going through the ceiling of the floor underneath you? And then what if those people are eating dinner or taking a shower? Are the roots going to go into their room? So you can imagine, because we're playing, right? We're playing with energy. You can imagine sliding all of those floors underneath you out. So they're like drawers, and you can just open the drawers and pull them out. And then you visually collapse your floor all the way down to the ground. Yep. You see how you can just feel that? It's like you just have your height drop down. And so suddenly, energetically, because you visualize it, you're also on the ground floor. And then it's way easier. So now you can just drop your roots. If you're in New York City or a big city like that has underground subway stations or, trains, you can imagine that all of those just slide out also like a drawer, and the earth comes up to meet you. So there's a direct connection between you in your apartment and the ground underneath that is wanting to support those roots. Good. So just make whatever adjustments you need to make in your system. And then feel how when you and the earth are closer together, the rooting can really start to happen with some energy. So feel the roots going down and into the ground, and then spread them out wider, wider, wider. And then drop them lower down into the ground, another 50, 100 feet. Or if you like lots of drops, you can drop them down 500 feet or 1,000 feet. And then wider again. Good. Good. And then scan your body and just notice anywhere that feels tight or busy or a little contracted. And take that energy and imagine you can just direct that energy all the way down to your hip bones. If you're sitting on the floor, the energy can go straight from your hips into the ground through your root, through your bottom or your root chakra. If your feet are on the floor and you're sitting in a chair, you can imagine just running that energy all the way down your legs to your feet. And now you've opened up this pathway at the bottom of your feet, and you can just send the energy down into the ground underneath you. So here's the cool thing about energy. Even if you don't feel it, right? So you might be sitting here going, I don't feel anything moving. Nothing's shifted. What's the point? Why am I even listening to this meditation? Where you put your attention, the energy is going to follow that. So if you spend time each day visualizing that there's a pathway in your body where energy can move and be released from where it feels stuck or tight or heavy in your body and your mind. If you imagine there's a pathway that can send it all the way down to your root or all the way down to your feet, the energy follows that pathway that you have visualized. And then you set the intention, right? I want to release the stuff that doesn't feel good. I'm tired of feeling angry, or I'm tired of feeling frustrated, whatever those emotions or energies are that have you looping or spinning. You can just decide you're going to move some of those energies out. Move those emotions so that you don't have to feel the spin of them. Yeah, so let's try it again. Go ahead and find a place in your body. I'm sure there is a spot somewhere in your body that has a little to it, a little like rough day, busy day. I don't have time. Don't even know why I'm doing anything for myself when I have so much to do for other people, right? Whatever your story is, just kind of feel where you hold that in your body. Bring your attention to that spot. So let's say it's underneath your left arm, or it's on your right elbow, right? Wherever you feel the tightness, imagine you can bring your attention to that place. And then you're just going to visualize how the energy would flow from that spot to your feet, or if you're sitting on the floor, to your bottom. Either one works. So you might have to visualize a really convoluted path, right? If we're going from your elbow, you've got to go up the arm, underneath the armpit, down the side of the body, right? Just visualize. See if you can create a pathway. Yep, all the way down to your feet. So visualize it all the way down to your feet if you're sitting in a chair. Yep. And then set the intention that that place that feels stuck or tight, you're going to pull the energy from that space and you're going to run it through that pathway that you just created. And you can use breath to help you. So you can go as you send it down your legs. Open up your feet or open up your bottom, your root chakra, and imagine you can just send the energy out. So whoosh, right? You're just going to release whatever it is that needs to move. And you're going to send it down into the earth and just let it move. Yeah. So why would we want to send energy that doesn't serve us into the earth? Well, we touched on that before, right? The earth is a recycling center. It regenerates energy. So it takes toxicity and it brings back something that's rejuvenated or cleansed. The ocean is like that. You know, if you've ever been at the beach, there's usually seaweed or kelp or things that get washed up, you know, as the earth is sort of cleansing itself. And then usually the tide will come in and it'll wash things back out again. Eventually it'll wash it back up also, right? So you set the intention that you're releasing toxicity out and down into the earth where it's going to get purified. And then you're going to bring pure energy up into your body and you're going to run that through your system and recharge, refuel yourself. Yeah, so the secret with not the secret, but one of the tips with the rooting is the more stable you feel in this moment, the deeper and wider that your grounding can get, the easier, for me at least, the easier it feels to flow energy out, to hold your space, and then to feel stable enough to really receive energy coming in. So just for a moment, imagine you can deepen those roots even further. So drop them, let's say, another 100 feet down and another 200 feet wide. And imagine you can grow another set of roots that are going to go forwards and backwards or sideways, diagonally, right? You're going to kind of stretch out that grid underneath the earth. Yep. Do a quick scan of your whole body. So don't even just pick one part. Just imagine your whole body can just get a flush right now. So you're just going to let the earth pull from the bottom anything in your system in this moment that you don't really need or that doesn't feel like it serves you. So it's going to do a quick plumbing, right? It's just going to suck anything out of your body that you're ready energetically to release. It's going to pull it down through your feet, all the way into the earth. Yeah, what you might notice is a lightness in your upper body. Your mind might have finally gotten quiet without you even realizing it was doing that. Yeah, and for me, there's often a tingling in my leg as energy moves down and out. So it kind of lets me know, yeah, there's some stuff that's being released. I can usually feel it as it comes out my feet, but then there's that tingle in the leg that just confirms, good stuff, getting rid of things that aren't serving, right? So as it goes out and it gets released into the earth, if you want, you can pick your feet up and kind of stomp them. Imagine you're changing the scene or changing the story. Yep. Plant your feet back down. And then feel the depth of the roots that you had created, right? So this isn't a surface pulling up of energy that you're going to do. This is rooted, it's deep. So you're getting, like when you go into the woods and there's a stream, the coldest, freshest water of the stream, right? Like that's what you're accessing with these really deep, deep roots. So plant your feet. Yep. And then imagine your roots can start having a suctioning power, kind of like a plumbing system. You know, when you're trying to suction some water up into a pipe, you're kind of pulling at it from the top or pulling air in. And then it starts to suction the good energy in. So you open up your feet, and then you just allow that energy to start to come up. And little by little. So it's going to come all the way up, perhaps through your calves, and then it might wash a little bit down again, kind of like the ocean waves, in and out, in and out. Yep, pull some more in, run it all the way up. Yep, up through your knees. One of the fun things that I love to do is, there's a book called Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, and she takes each of the body parts or illnesses, diseases, and she assigns an emotional need or block or something that wasn't being met. And so there's a correlation between the energy, the emotion, and the physical body. And so when I imagine energy coming up, knees are connected to ego. So I imagine the earth is just massaging through my knees and going, you think you're so great. You think you're so great. Let me show you what power is, right? Let me send some energy in and just massage those knees and remind you, you're just a soul having a human experience here on this planet Earth, which will be here before you and will be here after you, right? So let that ego take a break. So there's like a loving support, an energy of mothering that I feel from the earth when that energy starts to come up into your body, right? It's really this tender, I see you, sweet little thing who thinks you're so cool, and I'm reminding you, you're just one of all these beautiful souls, and you're just seeking connection, right? And so you just feel that love coming in, and then it can run up the thighs, it can come up into the hips. Yep. And then as it arrives into the hips, if you know and use or practice or work with chakra systems, you can imagine that the energy comes in at the root and then starts to fill up the chakras and moves up through the energy system. If you aren't used to chakras, no problem. Just imagine that that energy from the earth comes in through your hips, through your organs, and just slowly starts to wash and rinse up through your body. Yep, so you might feel a tingliness, you might feel a little bit of lightness. Sometimes you actually feel density, right? It's like, oh, there's energy in this space that's normally empty, and that energy has a weight or a depth or a density. So just notice the difference in your physical body from no energy to really good earth, solid oomph energy, right? Powerful energy. So just feel that moving either up through your chakras if you're tracking that way, or up through your organs in your chest cavity if you're bringing energy in like that. And then just feel there's more energy coming behind that. So even as your feet are planted, there's more running up from the earth. It's coming up through those roots that you've created, running up through your legs, running up through your lower half of your body. Yeah, and then it hits like the heart space, right? It hits right underneath your breasts at that heart. And so some people, this is about as far as the energy is going to go, right? Like we'll come up to the bottom of the heart and then nope, not going any further, right? Any extra can run right back down into the earth. So just notice how you feel about energy hitting your heart space. Yeah, if it feels good, you can wash some energy through your heart, send it up into your throat, run it up into your head, and imagine it just comes out of the top of your head like a waterfall or a fountain, and then it can just fall right back down to the earth. Right? So you're just creating a way to play with energy running through your system. If you don't want to deal with the heart space, or the heart feels a little tender today or a little buffered or protected, you can just imagine running some energy around the back of the heart and the front of the heart, so it'll just kind of wash over the outside. And it can still come up into your throat, run up through your head, up through your crown. If you're doing chakras, it goes all the way through those top chakras, and then it comes out the crown chakra at the top, and then it can just waterfall back down to the earth. Yeah, so it's just it's a way to play with energy in your meditation space. Yeah, so yeah, good work. I invite you to just keep playing with this. So you may want to pause the coming up energy and tune back into your body and just check, are there more places that need to actually release down through those roots? Or does it feel like I just want to keep running this earth energy up and around and up and around and create like a little energetic circle or loop? So I invite you to keep doing this on your own, right? Take this practice that I've started now, keep going for a few more minutes, and just play with it and see what comes up. Good job. That felt great. So much love to each of you.